Damn it! Ray's team have destroyed Young and his headquarters. We must rebuild my empire. Taoist, will you help me?
Certainly. I'll help you to restore your status again, but first we must get rid of that Robo warrior.
Huh?
Drop your weapons in 15 seconds. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11.
That's trash.
Tonight's movie on the internet.
I did.
Can you tell me a little bit about how you discovered this?
Entirely by accident. So we have a Roku player in the house, and on the Roku you can download all sorts of goofy channels. And one of them, and I downloaded. I can't remember if I pulled this up on a Kung Fu channel or just a Grindhouse channel or what, but it was something like that. And I was just scrolling through the movies that they had on there, and I saw Robo Vampire, and I told my wife, who was sitting in bed with me, I was like, we have to watch this right now. This sounds.
It's gotta be good.
Yeah, I was like, what could be bad about this? And she said, I'm gonna go ahead and go to sleep, but you do what you want to do. So I stayed up all night watching it and intermittently live tweeting about it because I was just so enamored with everything that I was seeing. It was so exciting, just top to bottom. So yeah, I was just totally stumbled into it by accident and then just fell in love with it like right away.
So can I tell you something? A little confession?
Sure.
I got about 20 minutes into this and I said, this is entertaining. But I've seen Chinese hopping vampires before. I've seen bad action movies. I wonder, maybe Zach's kind of a novice. And then the film really kind of unzips its pants about 30 minutes in.
Whips it out.
And yeah, it's almost like The Room, where it just kind of spirals out of control into where I started to question everything, all my life choices. It was a weird trip.
Yeah. Well, and just to be upfront about it, I mean, you're not too far off base. I mean, I haven't seen too many Chinese hopping vampire movies. In fact, I hadn't seen any because I was completely unfamiliar with the trope.
Oh, okay.
But I agree with you. Like up until about a half hour in, I mean, it's a B movie, and it has things that I like well enough. But I mean, it didn't excite me until we got about 30, 40 minutes in. Then things just started, spiraling out of control, as you point out, and that's what really sort of kept me in. So
yeah. So just for a quick context kind of thing. So this Chinese vampire is just a term we've slapped on this thing, but it's essentially a kind of a cross between a zombie and a vampire because it's a buried corpse that either through magic or ill will, like the Grudge, leeches life out of surrounding living people until it comes back. And in these legends, they would hop around because of rigor mortis, which doesn't explain some of the movements that these creatures do in this film. But this genre got huge in the 80s because I think in like 1980, Sammo Hung, the guy that worked with Jackie Chan and stuff, and was the director, he did a film called like Encounters of the Spooky Kind or something. It's a pun on that other movie, but that was the first like hopping or horror comedy, kung fu comedy thing. And then there was a hugely popular one called Mr. Vampire a few years later, which if you've seen any of these, it's probably the one that was like the breakout one. And so it became like a subgenre.
Mr. Vampire.
Yeah, and it's actually, I've seen it. It's
oh, no, I'm Dracula. Mr. Vampire is my father.
I recommend Mr. Vampire. It's well made. It's entertaining. It holds up. So that's why I was kind of like, well, maybe Zach just hasn't seen these, or maybe he's, I was just being kind of a little smug prick. And then it just went sideways. Does anybody want to tackle just like the elevator pitch, Zach, can you give us like a synopsis, if you can, of
synopsis?
Yeah, you're in the elevator at work and somebody says, "Hey, seen any good movies lately?" And you say, "Yeah, I saw this one. It's about
Yeah, like really the gist, though. I mean, like, the last 30 minutes of this film, spoiler alert, are like, oh, we get it. Mostly, I think it's like, it's sort of like, okay, fight.
Well, what is it about?
God, what is it about? What is it not about? I feel like this is this is the American dream on film, really.
It's the Chinese-Taiwan dream.
Yeah.
The Thai dream.
The Thai dream, just in celluloid. It's if RoboCop was made of styrofoam and fought Chinese hopping vampires with flame guns, I guess. I mean, and tag teamed with a ghost witch to defeat the drug lords who had resurrected these hopping vampires. I mean, I feel like that's.
Oh, what? That's it? That's all you got?
I mean, elevator pitch, right? So, I mean, that's like a kind of a run-on sentence as it is.
That's like a bunch of adjectives thrown together. That's insane? No, it's totally accurate.
No, it's like quicksand.
Yeah, like
once you
much
start,
like the movie.
Once you start trying to describe it, you just like. What did I mention? The heroin? Because there's heroin.
Yeah.
And
then,
I literally read a thing where like somebody said, because I was looking at like IMDb reviews and other people who had seen this film and stuff, and somebody literally said like, asking a friend to watch this film is an exercise in trust. Because it's so hard to describe what the fuck is going on, and there's just it's so weird and so like bad in a unique way that it's like what you just said. I think Zach summed it up perfectly, but it's like if somebody threw all that at me and I hadn't seen this, I'd be like, you're on drugs, sir, and I'm gonna walk over here now because you just said a bunch of fun things, but none of that makes sense.
yeah.
And that is the film in a nutshell. I think that's a pretty good summary right there.
And Joe, that's a great seg for one of our regular things in a word. So I try and have the guests sum up either the experience of watching the movie or the movie itself in one word. Zach, if you had to do that, what would you say?
Gobstopping.
That's a good one. Joe?
I was going to say mashed potato, all one word. I don't know the rules, but it feels appropriate. And it's like, it's a weird mashy thing. I don't know. I also thought about ice cream soup, all one word. Because it feels like it's made by an 8-year-old who thinks he'd like reinvented the whole world, but it's like tasty, but it's also like weird and kind of soupy. So I don't know.
At least you explained your thinking.
Yeah.
Sort of. I think mine would have to be cardboard, which I think covers. The RoboCop. He's not really cardboard, but he looks like he's like made out of Jiffy Pop. And what did you say, Zach?
It's just styrofoam. It's just foam padding.
I was going oven mitts, but we'll come back to that. Describing that costume. I've never seen, okay, so for people who haven't seen it, and hopefully, I mean, I assume if you're listening to this, you've seen it, but the costume is indescribable, and if you try and look up, I tried to pull up like an image, just like Google Images, Robo Vampire, because I just watched this. My wife came home and I'm like, this costume is unbelievably fucking crazy bad. It is not robotic. It is ill-fitting. It is not futuristic. I don't know what it is. Like, they would have been better off just putting like a fire suit on him and painting it silver or something. I don't know. So she's like, do you have, are there pictures? And I tried to look it up. And there's really no representational image that really conveys how bad it is, because there's like, he's got these pectoral things that are like puffy, and they sort of look like those windscreen things that shade your windshield when you fold them up into a circle. Or like, but it's all very like very oven mitt, and it's like, I was thinking of like literally like Mystery Science Theater stuff where they go to Goodwill and they get a bunch of stuff and then they spray paint it, and even the stuff that they do for their sketches, like super cheap, super on the fly, super who gives a shit, that shit is way better than this. And it's like, a lot of this is, I mean, it's Chinese and Thai, right? And it's like, that's the home of, we make plastic stuff and they're the kings of like the dollar store. Like, oh, we spray painted a He-Man blue and called it Beastman or whatever. There was actually this occurred to me today. There's literally this thing where it's a RoboCop action figure, and I don't think they changed it at all, but it's like in the dollar store. It's the dollar store RoboCop, but the box is different, and it says Robert Cop, and that's a real thing. And I was like, this is like, you have all these parts, like you must have like Chinese cast plastic things that you can make something that looks kind of like armor or kind of robotic, but they were like, nah, we're going to Fabric Depot, it's cool, like don't worry about it. And it's like, you know, hammer pants, or I don't know what's going on there, but it's a kind of a mess.
I thought it was amazing.
It's amazing, but
chin straps. You know what I mean? Because they couldn't bother with like the RoboCop, like the whatever the hell. I mean, it's like there's like a helmet, and there was fucking tape over like a bolt or something on the top of the helmet, and they just spray painted over the tape. I mean, it was amazing. I
feel like the one stylistic choice they made in that entire robot costume, or sorry, android costume, was that the helmet had like a samurai element to it. You know what I'm talking about? It had the helmet mullet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the only, like, they're like, oh, we'll make it like, that'll be more Asian, which is racist, because it's like, that's Japanese, and you guys are Chinese, like, you guys aren't all the same. But the rest of it is all just like, it's like very hastily put together, I think, is kind of the vibe. At least it's all the same color, though.
Yeah. So I got the impression, at some point about halfway through the film, some characters get introduced. And there are parallel storylines basically going on, and I got to the point where in the last like half an hour, I was pretty sure they just edited like 2 movies together, or took some unused footage and inserted a RoboCop thing because that movie became popular.
That's basically what I read, was to that effect, but I don't know if that's fact or not.
Okay, it just felt to me like you know the characters that the DEA hires, and he says I need like 3 other people with me and a bunch of guns.
Right, I'll need $30,000.
And they're going in to get the kidnapped
20,
agent that the drug lord has, who's getting the Chinese water torture, which isn't racist, Joe, because they're Chinese. And
right, drip, 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 drip.
That felt like that was an entirely different film. Like I don't.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that the RoboCop Robo Warrior. I don't think that he ever actually encountered them to the point where they're literally two different films.
Yeah.
That's completely, but especially by the end, that's how it feels, is like, because you stay with each separate element of it for like 20 minutes at a time. So it's like, oh, here's the like the Delta Force, that section where the guy's like, I'll need 3 guys. I need a crew of 4. I need 3 more guys and like $30,000. I'll do it. And they're like, okay. And then they go in and do the raid, and they're doing their little raid on the compound, and you're like, whatever. Like, I've literally watched that for like, there was like 15 minutes of that before I was like, I wonder what Robo Vampire is doing right now. Like it was like, is that going to come into play here? Because there's very little of that at this point. And then, you know, and so they kind of resolve like they get to eventually to sort of a natural conclusion of that, or a jumping off point, and then they go, oh, here's Robo Guy again, remember this? It's like, oh, right, yeah, this is what we came for. Yeah, it did feel like, and I've read things that were sort of like, oh, there was this Chinese thing and this Thai thing, and they kind of shuffled them together, like you're saying. Like, that's a pretty common salvaging of, we've all seen films where they've been doing that. Right? Yeah,
I didn't. You did more research on this than I did. I didn't dig around too much about this one. I just figured we'd sort it out.
I think that's what's going on, though. It's sort of like, we have all this footage. What do we do? And like somebody else is like, you know, I have all this chocolate. I don't know what to do with it. And somebody else is like, I have all this peanut butter. What do I do with it? And they got together and they're like, let's mash them up. And you know, I think it's something like that.
Okay, so let's hear some of it, because it's bananas. There's some really good bad dubbing. Some of my 2 favorite types of bad dubbing are when the dubber tries to, like, extraordinarily makes huge attempts to sync their mouth to the actor's mouth, so that
over enunciating kind of thing?
Very weird rhythms to try to sync their mouths. Like, I love that weird Shatnerian delivery. That's one of my favorite. My other one is when people try and have accents. Like, they just randomly give characters accents, like they were just having fun with it. And there's some of those in here. I wanted to play a little bit of, I think his name is Boss Kale. Some of the first dialogue we hear. Let's get a little taste of the quality of the dubbing in this film.
Listen, we must find a way to handle Tom, that goddamn anti-drug agent.
Boss, what are your plans then?
I've employed a Taoist. He'll train vampires to deal with him. Contact headquarters, Richard, and ask Young to find a new way to smuggle the heroin in. Meanwhile, I'll send Tony and Ken over to watch the Taoist vampires.
Right.
My favorite thing about that clip, if I may, is, first of all, I was completely just floored by, because the two henchmen are like, all right, what are we going to do, boss? And he just, plain as day, as if it's the most normal thing, is like, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hire this guy to make a group of vampires to protect it from the cops. And they're like, yeah, all right. Hey, good move, good call.
That's why he makes the big bucks. That's
Yeah,
why he's the boss.
Yeah, that's why he's the boss. I wouldn't have thought of that, but you know what? That's a solid plan. Like, they don't bat an eyelash. They don't look at each other like they should be looking at each other like, boss has lost it. He's tasting the product. But they don't at all. They're just like, okay. Cool, vampires. Like, that's not anybody's plan ever. But I thought that was interesting. I also like, there's a character in this that's like, is it? I don't think it's the same guy. There's another group leader guy. I get it all mixed up, but they make him like, kind of sound like an old guy. And he's like, oh yeah, this is my voice. Like, hey guys, go over here. It's like, oh, I don't know. I still listen to the radio. But he's like a 40-year-old guy.
Grandpa Simpson?
But he sounds like this. And he's like, I don't know. Just make sure there's no pickles.
Let's see if it's this.
Wait here now. I'm sorry to bother you. Is everything all right?
Go. It's okay. Everything's under control. No need to worry.
Okay, come on down.
Oh, it's not that one.
No, that's that's later. But yeah, some interesting choices. Which, by the way, I decided would be a great name for a show on the Jazz Channel, on the Jazz Radio. Interesting choices.
So how do you get, what does it cost to get a Taoist priest to make heroin protecting vampires? What do you think?
Oh, they do it for nothing.
I don't know a lot about Eastern culture, but I think that would be kind of crossing interests.
Yeah, there's got to be some sort of like ethical guy, like line that he's crossing there, right? I mean, they're not all just doing this, so I mean,
yeah,
he's got to be putting like some sort of something at hazard there. So I have to imagine. I mean, he's not just in it for the heroin or for the vampires. I mean, there's got to be some sort of like cash payout or like women or something. Maybe
I like to think it's a cash payout, but it's all going to charity, like a Habitat for Humanity.
The kids.
Yeah, it's for the kids.
A home for wayward hopping vampires.
Yeah. Stop the hop.
Let's hear a little bit from the Taoist.
I've completed the vampire project. Come and witness his incredible power for yourselves now.
Are you sure that even machine guns don't cause no harm to him? Come on, show us his vampire.
You must be very quiet. Don't be scared by his power, or he will attack you. These will help protect you from the vampire's power. And take these as an extra precaution.
You're his creator. Can't you manipulate him?
Of course I can control him, but you can't. So that's why you need protection. Take them.
And for those who either didn't see this or don't remember, in that scene he's at first handing them necklaces of garlic bulbs.
Mm-hmm.
And then he hands them the next thing is like, also you'll need these, and they're these like leaflets, and they, leaflets with, I don't know, Chinese writing on them.
Yeah.
That we've seen earlier are put on their foreheads and hang over their faces, and it sort of like stops them and puts them to sleep.
Yeah, it unanimates them.
Yeah.
It's like
it sort of immobilizes, like
shuts
shuts them down.
Written on it, yeah.
It's sort of like turning the lights on in a junior high dance. Like, done, whoop. There was a scene with you were talking about the priest, that scene where the guys say, they say, "Where's the drugs, old man?" And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Mm-hmm.
So this really confused me because like there was a moment where, so there's a big cross, and he pushes it over, and it goes, poof, and powder goes out, and he's like, "Oh, the drugs." And I thought when he first pushed it over that he was like, "Oh, maybe it's in here this is where he's hiding it." But the reaction is like, "Oh shit!" Like they're surprised by it in a very specific way that is like, "Oh wait, so you mean that was a random act of vandalism?"
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
They were tossing the church. Yeah.
He was just like, "Fuck your cross." Oh wait, I found the drugs. Win-win. It was really weird. I was like, you could have made that be oh, maybe it's in this big cross because this is this big empty room. Where else would you store anything? But it was just like, nah, he was just being a dick and he got lucky.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
So, Zach, what was your...
I didn't like that just took me right out of it. Like,
no, it just crossed a line. That's all.
Zach, what did you make of in the previous clip when the Taoist is talking about the vampire project is complete and he unveils his, like, is it a super vampire?
Yeah.
It's like he had a Dr. Zaius mask on. Do you know this character I'm talking about?
Yes. Yeah.
What did you make of that?
I have no idea what to make. I mean, I guess like part of the joy of this for me was not making anything of anything. Like, and just saying, "Oh yeah, of course they breathe dust in their faces. Of course these guys, these zombie Draculas are upset that they're given rice powder instead of heroin. Well, why wouldn't they be? I'd be pissed too." So no, seeing those things, I mean, I didn't feel nonplussed by it, but I just felt like this is how this should be. This is exactly the sort of just coked out, hellscape that I wanted to, spend an hour and a half with.
So I feel that he was definitely some type of super vampire, though, because he had the power of Roman candles in his robes.
Yeah. Well, and that's the one that later on that Robo Warrior fights, right? When he first teams up with the Ghost Witch, who is also his wife.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I guess like what I couldn't quite figure out though is why he looked like a gorilla or an ape. So, and again, I didn't know if like the hopping vampire thing, I didn't know if it was some sort of cultural thing that I was missing. Like, is there some sort of like, Thai or Chinese, like, myth or folkloric thing that I'm not understanding here, where this is like a common, like, look for demons, and it's just like a super powerful demon. I didn't understand any of it. Yeah. And I wasn't willing to trust the dub to tell me.
Oh, you know what? I think you're right. Maybe there is some type of mythological or something aspect that I don't know. That's just a cultural divide there.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, and to be honest, like, it's not that I would. In normal circumstances, I would be interested to know, like, oh, please tell me about your folklore. I love folklore, but in this case, like, I just want to see him blast Roman candles at Robo Warrior. Just blast him as hard as you can until he crumples over and then has to get out his special, like, get out the fire gun, and like, it's just going to be a great time. We're going to love it.
And I did love the Ghost Witch. I loved her whole monologue where she shows up and tells you the story of her life.
I wrote this down, Matt. She says, "Orientals are a stubborn people."
Yeah,
she did.
That made me feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah, but I feel like I learned something at the same time. Like, well, I didn't know that.
She was almost married to one, so it's okay for her to say that, I think.
Well, yeah. But she also, we should point out, she is very much a white person. More, like, not just because she's a ghost and ghosts are white, but she's very un-Asian.
No, they said, why don't we just play the clip?
Yeah, let's do that.
Stop her yapping.
How can that be a lady ghost?
How dare you enter here, you witch?
How dare you take my lover's corpse towers and turn him into a vampire beast? Now he is condemned to a living death, and we can never be together in the afterlife.
But he is from the east and you the west. How can you explain it?
Orientals are a stubborn race, and both his parents opposed our marriage. It was then that we decided if we could not be together in this life, Peter and I would be together forever in the afterlife. You have robbed us of this by turning him into a vampire beast. Now my only thought is of revenge. Now my dreams have been shattered. I hold you responsible for my misery.
Star-crossed lovers.
Yeah, it's progressive when you hear it back.
Put it on your diary, you know? I mean...
She's like, it's progressive. She's like, oh, the family opposed it, but we're interracial, and we're gonna make love in the afterlife, or whatever. But her delivery's interesting, too, because it kind of sounds like, if you stop listening to the words, it kind of sounds like, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah.
I just like that she had a sheer top on. I know that I'm childish.
Yeah, that was cool. It took me a while to catch onto that. I was like, oh, wait, there's, like, nipples here.
Yeah, well, by the end of the movie, it worked out great.
It did. Yeah. And, Zach, I don't know if you know this, but we've had a running count on this show for a long time about whether or not there was, it's kind of like B-movie bingo, whether there was an attempted rape, and unfortunately there was one.
That happened. There was an almost rape. We don't know if it was a real rape, but there was an almost rape.
Yeah.
Definitely. With the, not with that scene, but with the double agent or whatever, secret agent, what do you call it? Undercover agent. Sorry, the blonde girl that was tortured, and then the guy, like, rips her. Well, there's a really weird line, which maybe you have in one of your clips, where the guy's like, the guy in charge is like, all right, leave us alone. And the lackey guy's like, you said I could have her. Mm-hmm. It's like, whoa! Super creepy line for, like, how it's delivered. Like, he's bummed out. But you said I could rape her is basically what it is. And then he's like, no, go away. And then he water tortures her some more, and then she tries to karate him very badly. She's like, clearly like maybe a gold belt. She's going at him with some moves, like maybe I can scare him by just making karate hands, and she gets trapped in a corner, and he rips the back of her shirt, and we cut away, but I think the implication is like she got raped, because we see her later, and I think did they get her addicted to heroin, like that kind of thing? Because she's like walking around zombie-like when they finally meld the two pieces together and we see her again, they rescue her. She's like blah 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 blah, like.
I think she's a little addled from the water torture for a few days.
Do you think it's the water torture, not the heroin?
I don't know. But I don't understand why this DEA agency is sending in a white blonde girl into some small village as an undercover agent.
That's stupid, right?
Hey, I'm just here working the coconut stand. I don't know what you guys... I'm not an agent.
What? Oh, I mean, maybe if she was like there, like posing as a Christian missionary,
which I guess she probably was, right? Because she was with Father Brown, which I did assume was kind of her cover, but
still, like she's like, hey, what are you guys doing? Oh, that sounds fun. Tell me more.
So like, wait, if you're right, and her cover was working as a missionary with Father Brown, why was there bags of heroin in the crucifix?
Just a little
Father
something.
Brown likes to get wet, man. That's fine.
That's his own supply. That's
personal
use,
daddy.
Man.
A little something for daddy. Church takes a taste, man. That's the tithe, 10%. You got to do business in this town.
Let's hear the Sophie clip that I have. I don't even know what it is.
You're nothing but scum. You killed Father Brown, and your drug killed millions.
Anyone who gets in our way is removed. And as for our flourishing drugs business, all we do is supply an ever-increasing Western demand, as you're no doubt aware, being a narcotics agent. But your death will not be so easy as our good friend Father Brown. For you, we have something special.
You bastard! We'll never give up till we get you!
You, get out of here.
Thought you said I could have her now.
Well, I think that first, you and I should have a little fun together.
Fun. on.
So to this point, aside from
There's so much going on there.
aside from the topless ghost, I was like, this is, like I said, pretty typical action movie with a weird vampire kind of twist in here. But then one of the DEA agents gets gunned down, and his CO has an ingenious but an unconventional suggestion for his superior.
So how's Tom?
It was a fatal wound. He's dead.
Since Tom's dead, I want to make use of his body to create an android-like robot, Mr. Glenn. I would appreciate your approving my application.
Are you assured of success?
Mm-hmm.
All right, your application's approved. May I remind you of one point? You must proceed with your invention with great care and in strict confidence. All right?
Yes, all right.
It's not even a hard yes. Like when he asks him if he's sure it's going to work, he's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, like, of course I'm going to say yes. It's my project. It's my pet passion project. I like how he brings the topic up cold. Like, it's the same, to me, this is the good guy analog of, well, naturally, like, I'm going to hire an army of vampires. Don't worry about it. Like, that's the bad guys, and the good guys is like, well, now that he's dead, I'd like to make an android out of his body. Like, that's literally what he says. I was trying to describe it to my wife, and I was like, it sounded like I was oversimplifying, and I'm like, no, that was almost verbatim. He's like, well, now that he's dead, I'd like to turn him into a robot. Well, will it succeed? Yes. Okay, then you have my approval. Like, that was the process. And the way he says it is like, I am in no way part android myself. Like, it's very strange. And if you spent one day, like, if you went into your boss and asked for a raise the way that guy asked to get his project approved, you would be fired. They would be like, HR? Yeah, this guy's gone by lunch. Because he is creeping me out.
Yeah. Well, and like the equipment that they have is just they're not even trying. Like, yeah, we got a couple of boxes, we got a light bright, some bulbs, and we got a tape recorder. That's enough to make an android out of a corpse, right?
Yeah, they got they got like a light welding torch. Well, and the thing is, before
That's
the guy,
a fucking sparkler, dude. That was a goddamn sparkler.
Yes, I think you're right. But Zach's absolutely right. Like the other thing that I noticed when first watch of this is like when they were operating on him, and I know they're going RoboCop on this, so I'm like, okay, I get it. He's gonna like die on the operating table, and I'm like, I don't know what your like ER sitch is in China in the 90s, or I guess the 80s, but they had a big metal box that has a minus sign and a plus sign, and it looks like the world's biggest battery tester. And I was like, that's insane. Who in the world is believing, like, they're like, ooh, it's like negative flashing, like, oh, positive. Like, ooh, oh, okay, he's doing well. And they're like negative, and they're like, oh, he's slipping. Like, in what world is that like, we're not in the future in this movie, am I correct?
No,
it's a Fisher-Price world.
Yeah.
Right, but like, yeah, I suppose it is. But it's not even like RoboCop is supposed to be. RoboCop came out in what, 85?
No, like 87.
Yeah,
87. Okay, 87. But it was set in like what's now present day Detroit, like
the
Detroit
year 2000.
Like in the year 2010, something like that. So you could do something like that, like, oh, we've upgraded. But this thing didn't. Like, it didn't make any speculation that we were in anything but present day, and then they just spring this on you like, yeah, here's this big tin box. That's how we do it now. Yeah. Very strange.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's almost like this is a world created by a 10-year-old. Like,
it's absolutely that.
Like, you remember how Sane Elsewhere ended, and it was all like an autistic kid's looking at a snow globe?
Yep.
That's what this movie was, but he wasn't even autistic. He was just...
I'm surprised Richard Belzer wasn't in this. It would completely, like, it would complete the cycle. Because I absolutely felt that exact same way where I was like, this is like when I was 10 years old or 8 years old and playing with my friends, and we make up some dumb story and we go, okay, but maybe we'd seen RoboCop or something. because I saw that, like, it was rated R, but I saw that before I was supposed to. But you're like, okay, you be the drug dealer, and I'll be like the cops, and we're coming, and like, you know, like, we gotta get the heroin or whatever, and like pew 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 and something, and like, oh, I'm the robot man, and like that, and then like a bunch of extended fight scenes. It was like, no, you have to lay down, you're dead. You know, it felt like 10-year-old writing, like child's play kind of thing. But that's that's not unique to this movie. There's many B movies that feel that way.
But to me, I mean, that's the charm of it. I mean, that's what I loved about it so much. You know, like it just. I mean, they're not. If they're trying to, if someone was like, if they were making this and someone was like, oh yeah, of course, duh. I mean, why wouldn't he? Like, then okay, we've got an issue. But like, there's a part of me that has to believe like that they know that they're just throwing whatever they can against the wall, and like not even like half-assing an attempt to try to make sense of this. I mean, I would be hard pressed to believe that this is produced by you know, if I don't know, I'd just be hard pressed to believe that anyone on this set was like, oh man, this is going to be great. We're really going to tap into the American market. Like, action film fans are going to love us. Andy Sedaris is just going to be around. It's going to be a beautiful time, and we're going to be hanging out with Larry Flint before you know it. This is going to be great.
It does have that feel of just kind of like every idea is a good idea, like total acceptance. Like, what if this? And they're like, great, let's put it in. You know, what if this? Like, well, we'll do that if we have time. We'll totally do that. Like that works.
I don't want to sound like a cynic, but I tend to lean more towards Zach's side here. I don't think it was like there was a Hong Kong Ed Wood there saying, great idea, yeah, you do that. I think it was more like so RoboCop was huge. The poster's done. How quickly can we put together a robot? Like, I think they were just making a movie to cash in on Verhoeven's success with RoboCop. Is my opinion, cynical one.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like you're saying, you're like not cynical, and then you said the most cynical thing. but no, I agree with you. I think it's definitely more of a cash in than like some kind of a, like, you know, auteur gone wrong. It's not Birdemic or anything. It's just sort of like, it's more of a like a Canon Films kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, this is fast and cheap, and if we break even, like, it's a win and whatever, and like, yeah, you know how the international market is. It's like, whatever, it's a thing. It's like a lot of B movies that came out of the 50s and 60s were like that, like, oh, let's capitalize on this alien thing, and then they just make a shitty thing, but they made it in a week with no money, and they make that back, and they're like, well, great.
Well, like you said Alien, referring to the 50s films. I mean, look at the film Alien. I mean, look at that kicked off an entire industry of ripoffs for
you're talking about Species.
No, I mean, Italy, like, in America, I mean, there were Creature, like, I mean, there's just all these I forgot, man, I'm totally blanking on some of the most famous ones, but I mean, that was a whole subgenre of B movies for like the first half of the 80s was ripping off Alien.
Yeah, there was an American or Canadian one that I saw on Comet a couple months ago that clearly was, it was very clearly an Alien ripoff, or like Aliens, and it had, I can't remember who was in it, but it was like people you'd recognize. Like, it wasn't just nobodies. It was like, oh wow, but it was clearly an Alien cash-in kind of thing, and you know, it might have been a like made-for-TV kind of thing, but there was a lot of that. I mean, it happened with Jaws too. Everything suddenly was like, oh, well, what about I don't know, jellyfish, or like other water creatures that are really scary. Just when you thought it was safe to, I don't know, get in the water, or, like it. That's always been the case.
Yeah.
And this feels like that poster though. Oh, what a bait and switch, man.
Yeah, I love a good bait and switch poster.
Like, oh, you told me this was going to star RoboCop, and it did not.
Okay, so
but that's on me.
I beg to differ. Maybe you didn't see what I saw. So let's talk about some of our favorite stuff here, because we could pick this thing apart until Tuesday. Mm-hmm. But Zach, what was one of your favorite?
my absolute favorite part of this was was really most of the end of the movie. Just the huge, the never-ending fight scene between Robo Warrior and the Ghost Witch and the super demon, whatever. That was the moment where I just felt the happiest and the most joyful watching it, especially when it's revealed that Robo Warrior has some sort of flamethrower component of his gun that he hadn't used before, but was like the most powerful thing that he could have used against any of these vampires, apparently. And
he's just discovering it.
I don't even know what the context was. Like, I don't even remember how he figures it out. But all I remember is just out of nowhere, he just has a flamethrower and he just starts shooting. It looks like, it doesn't even look like he's like a flamethrower. It looks like it's just like a really weak, like, piss stream. Yeah. Like he's like maybe 45, 50 years old, needs to see a urologist. Like really weak stream of fire just sort of just splooshing out of the gun. And it's just, he's blasting all these guys. And I just felt so happy watching all of that. That and just really throughout the movie, the guy that's playing Robo Warrior, Tom Wilde, whatever, and he's, the way that he thinks a robot moves was just beautiful. And that combined with the really shitty like servo sounds and
all the little servo like and the constant like the footsteps thing that's just like incessant. But yes, here we go.
Robo Warrior calling headquarters. Soldier is severely wounded off of Highway 309. Send helicopter at once.
He punished that sand. That beach, never the same after he walked on it.
Now, he's stealing all of his moves, basically, more or less from RoboCop, from, what's his name? Buckaroo Banzai there. But there was a scene I noticed where I think what they did is it was one of those scenes where he's getting surrounded by vampires. They gang up on him in 4, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was on the beach. Well, there
was a couple scenes where that happened.
Yeah, there was a couple of those, right. I think there's one at the end that has a whole...
Yeah, it's like a whole
gaggle.
Fucking... Yeah. I was going to say something naughty, but there's one scene, though, where it looks like they just, he's doing the same moves, but they kind of sped it up, but you can't tell they sped it up, and it actually looks robotic for a second, because it's he's just taking it all in, and I was like, that's kind of cool. If they had done some more of that, that was pretty satisfying. My favorite personal thing is, am I next?
Yes.
Easily Lady Ghost.
Yeah.
What's not to like about Lady Ghost?
Nothing for me.
She's an attractive lady. You get to see a little bit of her boobs. But what I like most about her is she's a plain talker. She's trying to get back with her lover, and there's this weird scene where they're trying to hey man, we're just trying. Well, there's a scene where they're trying to get it on because they get left alone. Let us live. We just have to consummate our love or whatever. And Robo Warrior's he flashes back, and it wasn't until the end of the flashback that I realized that was happening. Because unlike RoboCop, they didn't make it clear, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's Alex J. Murphy, and he's walking through his house, and so. But there's this flashback of him with his girlfriend. Yes, let's hear that clip.
What's the matter, honey? Tell me.
Leave me alone.
You don't have to be so temperamental.
As long as you're a cop, I don't want to see you again.
But you knew I was a cop when we got married.
I didn't know what was involved at first, that it'd be so dangerous.
I've worked this job for years, and I'm still alive.
So, yeah, it flashes back to their most romantic moment, and then he flashes back to the present, and he's Robo Warrior again. And he turns down the stairs, and he's like, okay, cool. I'll leave you crazy kids alone. You get it on. You get your ghost freak on or whatever. And he goes back down the stairs, and he's like, he's ready to leave. And then Lady Ghost is like, ha ha ha, just kidding, I'm going to fuck your shit up. Like, out of nowhere, which I don't get. I still don't understand. Like, she puts her, like, her weird, like, bandaged toilet paper thing out and, like, trips him up and pulls him up and smashes him and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I'm going to fuck with your shit. And he's like, what? Whoa, I said, like, cool. You made a plea. I said, that sounds fair. I walked away, and now you're going to pick a fight?
I was going to let you guys pork.
Yeah. I was going to let you fucking bone in the afterworld or whatever you're doing. I don't understand it, but go for it. I love it. And he still, like, gets picked on. It was really strange. And then that turns out, I don't remember how that scene ended. I don't know how they got out of that mess, but she goes on to show off her boobs another day because we see her later.
Yeah. So I think my favorite's a smaller moment when you have the Delta Force team. I like non sequiturs in movies, and I love when I feel like they just kept introducing people. One quick question though, there's a point. I think his name's Tony. Is that the guy that gets hired, who's the leader of the Delta Force that we're talking about? That's supposed to get
sounds right.
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
So he gets the Mike Nesmith drug dealer, right? And he has him on the tree, and he has a knife to his throat. And he says, "Tell me where Sophie is." And the guy goes, "Ha ha ha, no way." And then he like kind of draws a little blood, and the guy's like, "Oh." And then, okay, you know what I'm talking about?
Right.
The Mike Nesmith guy with the monkey's hat,
mm-hmm.
Does he turn good? Is he on their side the rest of the movie? There's a guy that has the same hat and the same mustache
shit.
that's with them the rest of the movie.
I hope not. I don't know. That was when I was fading in and out then. Okay. I was just like, this movie, like, I felt like this movie was like, by that point, was like, oh, what did I drink or eat? Did I eat something weird?
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I saw it 1.63 times, and I'm pretty sure it was the same dude. I think there was something that got trimmed or something that explains that he has a change of heart and joins them, basically, was what it seemed like.
Yeah, like there's probably a little scene where he's like, they're going to do this to this, and he's like, whoa, that's not what I signed up for. Well, I'll help you. I'll be your mole. I know all about what his dealings are. I'll be your guide. Like that kind of thing. It's the kind of thing that could be explained with like 2 lines of dialogue and move on. I bet you're right. Okay. I missed that. Damn it.
I guess my favorite moment was when the Delta Force is chugging along. He's got his extra guys, some guy in a beret. There's whatever. They're chugging along. It's obviously a different movie. And then this girl trots up. Sorry, I think it was the scene I was just talking about, but it's this moment.
Now talk, or I'll kill you. Now tell me where they're holding Sophie.
Knock it off, right.
If you go and kill him now, we're never going to find out whereabouts they're holding Sophie prisoner.
Who are you?
I'm Wendy, Andy's younger sister.
Who the fuck is
Annie?
Wait, Wendy or Annie?
She says, I'm Wendy.
Oh,
Annie's younger sister. Who's Annie?
Yeah. I don't... is she the one that was swimming in the lake with the guy? When that happened, I was like, who are these people? I was like...
The one that's swimming in the lake is Wendy. That's her later. She hooks up with Ray. Okay. Sorry, his name was Ray, not Tony.
Right, another almost rape scene where she's like, stop, you're looking at me, you're a weirdo. And then he's like, I'm going to force myself on you. And she's like, I love it. It's like, okay.
So just to be clear, Zach, you don't know who Annie is?
I don't know who Annie is, no. But just the same, though, I just assumed that it was sort of like the Mike Nesmith guy. Because I know exactly the guy you're talking about. And I don't know, I just assumed that I didn't even think about trying to put it like in a narrative framework. I just assumed that they had cobbled together so many movies that they had forgotten who was who.
That's how I felt.
And I'm like, just said, go with it. Just go with it. We got to get this thing out the door.
Yeah, it felt like that too. Okay, sorry.
I have no clue who Annie is. So.
Okay, I didn't know if she was a smooth criminal or what. Okay, so we got that not sorted out. That's great. So let's move on to. Is there anything else that anybody else has a burning desire to talk about, or can we judge this thing?
I had one thing, which is, how do you karate fight a ghost?
Well,
because that happens the first time we meet Lady Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
With wizard magic.
Yeah. Have you not seen Big Trouble in Little China or something?
Big Trouble in Harry Potter? Yeah, I thought that was weird. I was like, that would not be my go-to if I were fighting a ghost, is like, hand-to-hand combat. Like, that'll work. I don't know. It's more of a rhetorical question, I suppose.
Well, and that might be a translation dubbing issue. Maybe she wasn't actually a ghost. Maybe she was some cursed...
A daemon.
Something, yeah, I don't know.
Kind of a Matt Damon.
That's one of those ones where, like Zach was saying earlier, okay, I'm just going to trust that got lost in translation, or, you know, that actually...
Boy, that would make a lot more sense, though, especially with the Planet of the Apes Super Dracula, whatever, right? Because if she were just like a regular, like, corporeal, like, witch, and then he's her demon familiar, that would make a lot more sense of that relationship.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought, okay,
Rather
yes,
than
that even makes more sense than what I thought.
Right. Yeah.
Because I thought she committed suicide. I thought
it was like
he
a
died
Romeo
and she committed
and Juliet,
suicide so they could be together. So she was in some like Chinese hell of suicides or something. So she wasn't even. It was like purgatory. I don't know.
But you know why you thought that, Matt? Is because that's what she said.
Yeah.
That's literally what the overdub says. And she's like, "Oh, I couldn't be." I mean, you played the clip, and it's like that's what we're led to believe, but. I think you're right that it's like it's a cultural thing where it's more like, oh no, like we'd have to explain this type of the demon.
Yeah, like
have
she's
time
cursed.
to do that.
She's not a ghost, like boo ghost. She's like a cursed undead thing.
And then she gets like her chest ripped open and she bleeds out at the end too.
Right,
right?
exactly.
So.
Yep, you're right. And it's like, what? Weren't you a ghost? Shouldn't that blood be clear? Because that's how ghosts bleed. Pretty sure I've read all the Casper the Friendly Ghost comics, and every time he bleeds, it's clear and it floats away.
You have to send me some of those. That sounds awesome. Yeah. I just get the kids
It's the
ones.
dark. It's the origin story of Casper the Ghost, where Richie Rich dies, turns into Casper the Ghost, and then he becomes Casper the Friendly Ghost after he bleeds out. He's like, you know what? Maybe I should have been better to people, poor people specifically. And that's why he befriends that spooky ghost with the hat and the black nose, because he's like a hobo or something, right?
I think his name is Spooky.
Right? Isn't it Spooky?
Yeah. There's a trio, isn't there? There's three of them.
Yeah,
The Spooky
the Ghostly
Trio.
Trio.
The Ghostly Trio,
Yeah.
All right, let's do Final Judgment, guys. The guest, Mr. Zach, will you tell me, in your opinion, whether this is cool or this is trash, and defend your position?
This is 100% cool. And it is cool because it is trying to be something that it simply cannot be, and the result of that is something. The result of that is something sort of bizarrely beautiful and wonderful, and yeah.
I take that. Joseph.
Whoa! I'm getting an echo from you.
I heard that too.
Ooh, more echoes. That's cool. It's like there's two of you. Oh, God. I don't like this binary system you've got, Matthew, but I'm going to have to go trash because there was a lag in about the, I want to say the 1 hour mark where I was like, okay, this could be any movie action footage, and so it ended up, excuse me, being, I know, that's classy. My opinion matters. Listen to me. Where it just became a little kind of like stock and dull, and it didn't matter who was fighting who or whatever. That said, I don't disagree that it's an interesting watch. I think for the hardcore sort of psychotronic fan, I'd say, yeah, check this out. But as a caveat with any of these things, like, hey, when it bores you, whatever, like, pause it, go do something else, come back to it, you know. But there are parts of it that feel a little sloggy to me, and didn't seem as fun as they could have, kind of because it was just sort of a, as we talked about, kind of a, this is, you know, a money-making venture, and let's put this thing together. But I think there's a lot of fun stuff in there. It's definitely the way it's received on the internet is like, what the fuck did I just watch? 1 star out of 10, but like shining reviews of like, you know what I mean? Of like, people, look, I've seen a lot of bad movies, like your Manos Hands of Fates and your Ed Woods and your blah, 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 and this should be on the list. So I think it's definitely like one of those kinds of things. That said, I feel like it depends on your audience. If it was somebody who wasn't super into this kind of thing, what we're talking about here, and super into bad movies and psychotronic stuff and Mystery Science Theater type fare, I wouldn't recommend it. I'd be like, you're going to think I'm crazy. But if you're super into this, sort of fringe kind of thing, I think you will get something out of it that you will appreciate. Absolutely. So
your Tombstone.
I know Zach's going to fucking kill me.
No, I'm not going to kill you at all. No, I think that makes a lot of sense. I just where I would definitely part ways though is, I mean, it's exactly the type of movie I would give to someone who's never seen anything like this before. Just
I can understand that, yeah. I mean, it's like, like we were saying at the top of the show, or I read that thing where it's like, asking someone to watch this movie is it's a trust exercise.
Mm-hmm.
That absolutely is, because but I think there's probably a couple of movies you could give somebody that was like used to watching Practical Magic or Sex in the City or something, where they're like,
hey, oh no, stop.
Yeah. Like,
go
oh,
back.
Did you see Home Improvement Hey, Matt, did you see Home Improvement last night? It was hilarious.
No, Joe, goddammit,
can't
listen
go from
to me, Joe. Circle around and explain how you pulled Practical Magic out of your ass crack now. The fuck did that come from?
America's Sweetheart, Sandra Bullock. I think she's single now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I don't think you could. It's a big leap, is what I'm saying. Is like it's like going from Bach to Rite of Spring. Like, you gotta, there's gotta be like some transitory, like, oh, you like bad movies? Okay, well, watch this one with jokes, or watch this one that's pretty bad, or whatever. But it's in the same way that I wouldn't spring like Red Zone Cuba on somebody.
Oh, see, but that's painful though. Like, Red Zone Cuba is painful.
With or without riffs.
But it's great with riffs.
Both.
I think it's great with riffs, but it's not the greatest Mystery Science Theater,
no.
But without riffs, it's like, oh my god, fucking kill me.
No, Coleman Francis is a monster.
Yes.
It's a master of monstery.
He is a beast of yucca.
He's a master of monstery. So yeah, I mean, like, again, with apologies to the binary system, I wish there was some kind of a other, like,
it's a two-party system, Joe.
No, I know. I guess I'm going Nader on this one, but
you can't.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I guess my
vote away.
I guess my vote doesn't count. Yeah, I'll go reluctantly trash.
All right. Yeah, I got to go with Zach on this one. This is cool for me in a lot of ways, but for the main tipping point for me is that, it's doing a ripoff thing, which can go either way for me. It's cobbling together two abandoned things or whatever, into a new movie, can go either way. If the special effects had been better, I might have been more bored. But the fact that they were so appalling and so atrocious, I was entertained. Joe, I hit that same point where an hour in, I kind of start drifting off or whatever, but I don't do that thing you said. What'd you say? Turn it off, pause it, and go do something and come back? I go to the fridge and get another beer is my method of getting through these.
Loadable. I didn't say that.
But so I did kind of hit that slog, but then I got that runner's high that Zach was talking about at the end, where it's just that huge fight scene where you're just like, oh, I feel like I'm 12. Like, this is just all awesome, even though it's all terrible. So for me, this was cool. And again, I wouldn't, if someone said, if I said, hey, what's your favorite movie? And someone says Sleepless in Seattle, I wouldn't say, have you seen Robo Vampire? That's not the conversation that I have with somebody. So I know that I leave this thing intentionally,
with the films of Nora Ephron?
Intentionally vague, but I'm not assuming it's my mom. Like, I'm not going to be like, well, have you seen Robo Vampire?
See?
I think you'd like it. I think you'd like it. Yeah.
See, this is exactly the kind of thing I just dump on people. Like, and not expressly like a bad movie, but like one Christmas I said to my grandma, "Hey, have you seen Cannibal the Musical? We should watch that together." And Christmas Day, my grandmother went down to the basement with my brother and I and watched Cannibal the Musical and was horrified the entire time and didn't think there was anything funny about it, which really made the experience for me. It was just.
But that's Trey Parker and Matt Stone, so this is like an intentional. You know what I mean? It's sort of a different.
But the mismatch is still.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what
yes,
I just mean to say, like, mismatch. Yeah. Like, I'm just, I mean, my wife. I mean, her favorite things in the world to watch are, those kinds of Sandra Bullock movies for whatever reason. She's like, "Oh, that was a cute one." I'm like, "Okay, great. Let's watch Robo Vampire," which is exactly what I did to her when I first saw this. So.
So, yeah, the blind side of robo-vampirism. Okay, so we got 2 cools, Joe. Sorry, you're wrong.
Look,
you got 4 more years of being wrong.
I just want to say, I broke a mirror here because every time I'm always on the wrong side of the law. On the cool or trash, it's always like, well, I think this, and everyone's like, nope. Actually, that's a cool opinion, but I'm here to tell you it's wrong.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
Okay,
so I'm going to be that guy. That's fun, though. Like, that gives me it's like a personality trait now. So when people are like, oh, shit, Joe's going to be on the show, and he's going to be so wrong. It'll be fun.
So, okay, Mr. Contrarian.
Yeah.
You're the squeaky wheel. You got an antidote to suggest to people who suffered through this?
Oh, okay. Does it have to be like?
It doesn't have to be free and available online, but that's a nice way to go if you can.
Like robot related or vampire related?
It would. I would like if it's, but it could be free association. I mean, it'd be cool if it was like, if you watched Robo Vampire and were kind of left wanting, then why don't you try blank? But it could also just, I mean, you know, you could say 8.5. Fuck, I don't know. But I'm just saying, it'd be nice if it was somehow related in some way, like from the 80s or from Hong Kong or both or whatever. I mean, just you do whatever you do. You.
Okay, every time somebody says you do you, I'm like, did that guy just tell me to go fuck myself?
Yeah, actually, that time I did.
Yeah. Oh, you do you. Yeah, I was racking my brain today, because this was like kind of last minute. I couldn't really think of anything that, I'm not going to say like Andy Warhol's Dracula or anything. I don't, I feel like everyone that would listen to this already knows all the vampire genre and the robot android cop genre. And I'm a huge fan of RoboCop. I read the novelization of the movie when I was a kid.
Really?
That's true. Yeah, they say "some bitch" a lot, which I thought was interesting. I'm like, that's not how. Nobody says that, right? Like, oh, some bitch. Some bitch.
I don't know. I'm not Dutch or wherever.
Or like Chicago? I don't know where that's from. Anyway, so I mean,
it's a Midwestern thing.
Is it?
It really is. I hear people say that all the time. I say that all the time.
So it's like a way of not saying "son of a bitch" because somehow "son of a bitch" is blasphemous, but "some bitch" isn't.
No, it's just a slur.
Yeah,
it's just slurring the words.
Elided. Okay.
Yeah.
So
where was that movie set? Was that set in Detroit?
Detroit.
Yep.
Yeah. Detroit.
Sorry, Detroit.
I don't know how you pronounce it. It's probably Detroit. I don't know how they say it. I was going to just recommend, because I don't have anything specific to that genre that I've seen recently, or to any of those genres, just going to speak to something that I have seen recently. Technically not a movie. Matt, you can give me shit later. But it's a British TV series. The first season is on Netflix. It is 6 episodes.
Black Mirror.
Each one is half an hour. That means it is 3 hours. So that is basically a movie. And it is also cinematic. It is called The Detectorists. Have you seen this, either of you?
I've never heard of it. I'm writing it down now.
Okay. The Detectorists. And what it is it's a series by, it's both written and directed by Mackenzie Crook, who most listeners will know as Gareth from Gareth Keenan from the British Office. They might also know him. I guess he was in the Pirates of the Caribbean films. I think I've seen like half of one of those, so I don't know. But
yeah, he was one of the comic.
Apparently, he's like a pirate guy. Yeah. But he wrote and directed this thing and got the right cinematographer. It is beautiful. It is the English countryside never looked so good. It is about, in brief, is about a couple of guys who are metal detectorists, who are guys that carry around metal detectors and look for treasure, and their lives, and they're trying to, they think they've hit on something, and it's sort of like their little world, but it's also about their relationships with other people, but it's very funny, and I don't want to say it's like British humor kind of thing, but I think it's very funny, and Mackenzie Crook also stars in it. He gives a great performance. Toby Jones, who you'll know from the Avengers movies, is as Red Skull's henchman, is also in it. He's his Mackenzie Crook's buddy.
He was Arnhem Zola, right? And
yep.
Yeah, and in Winter Soldier also.
Yep, in Winter Soldier. And if you ever saw Bletchley's Circle, her name escapes me, but she's Diana Rigg's daughter, and she was wonderful in Bletchley's Circle. She plays Mackenzie Crook's girlfriend, and she's phenomenal in it. It's a great cast. It's funny. It's touching. It's only 3 hours of your time, and it's beautifully shot, and it's 6 episodes, and there's actually a second season. I think that you have to either be on the Acorn channel or you have to do what we did and just buy it on Amazon. And I think it's 2 series and done. And I'm told the second series is what they call seasons. I'm told the second one is even ramping up, does better than the first. But yeah, it's wonderful. It's cinematic. It's like Terrence Malick shot an English drama comedy.
That sounds really good. I'm going to probably watch one tonight.
Highly recommend it.
Cool. Thanks. And I don't, just by the way, I don't think saying I don't want to say it's British humor. I prefer British humor most times to, a lot of American humor. But.
I just think people think British humor is like a little on the dry side, or I think maybe like if their only exposure is like The Office or something, or Monty Python, that's like, oh, British humor is like wacky, or it's dry, or it's cringy, and it's like, this is kind of none of. It's not really any of those things. It does a very good job of melding very human things with genuine, like, funny lines and reactions and interactions of people where you're like, ooh, like it. I've laughed out loud. It's not like super subtle humor, I don't think, but it's the way it's intermixed. Like, it's like real life in a good way.
Yeah. No, I like that. I feel like. Yeah, I guess the cringiness, like when I talk to people about like The Office, because I can't fucking stand the American version of The Office, but when I ask people what they don't like about the UK one, they always kind of say that it's too grim, like the cringiness, and there's a grim kind of like just element to the the reality of it that in the American one is very much not there. I mean, everything works out great for Michael Scott, but I think most people jump ship before they see that Gervais and Merchant had an arc, and there's 2 series and a special, and if you watch the whole thing, there's redemption and there's this nice conclusion, but the British stuff does tend to be very Americans are a lot more optimistic and kind of look on the bright side of everything that I don't think the British necessarily have as much. So I think that's what's off-putting to a lot of Yanks, in my opinion. But
I think there's just a realist aspect.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. So the Detectorists. The Detectorists. That's series 1 on Netflix. I will be watching it. Okay. Thank you for that, Joe. So we'll be back next month to watch a shot-on-video turd from 1996 called Feeders. Feeders, Joe? Did you say you watched this already?
Yeah, I watched about 2/3 of it.
Okay, don't spoil anything.
Oh, it's a treat.
Okay, so I just watched like a 2-minute clip of it that Something Awful, or Everything is Terrible, sorry, that Everything is Terrible put up, and I was like, oh my god, we have to watch that. It looks
Wait,
like a
Everything
fucking
is
train
Terrible
wreck.
is still a thing? That's awesome. I love that site.
Oh yeah, it's still
I love
around.
Everything is Terrible.
Anyway, I think here, let's play the little clip that I heard a little bit from that. You can hear some of the quality of this.
Hi, what are you doing?
What are you smiling about?
Women! I just set us up with some girls.
Oh no, you're kidding.
Come on, you should be thankful.
Thankful? Last time you set us up, we ended up in a dive bar with two lesbians who kept talking about their trick pony.
Will you just trust me this time?
That's a good clip, Matt.
Wow. That
Sounds
like how...
good, right?
I remember that. Yeah, that was kind of the moment that I was like, oh, this movie's crazy.
Yeah. So that's going to be fun. So join us in October for that one. I want to thank both of you guys for being on here, especially Zach for being for braving the show. I really appreciate your time and for you bringing this movie to our attention.
No, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you invited me on. It was fun. And it was an excuse for me to watch the movie again.
Yes. So, Joe, I think that what I'm hearing is that repeated viewings really ratchet this thing up. So maybe you want to do that and come back and we can.
They often do. They often do.
Vote.
Spend a little time with it.
Yep.
I will say, Matt and Zach, I will say, like, the caveat with my ruling. It sounds like more important than it is, but my caveat with that is that, like, this literally was like I was sort of a fill-in for today, so I was like, oh shit, I don't get to spend any time with this film.
That's true.
I have to do what I do, and then like I literally have to carve out like a time to watch the film once and make some notes of it. So
yeah, I wasn't going to bring up the fact that Joe was a last-minute fill-in, but Joe was a last-minute fill-in. So thank you also to Joe. Our Scott was going to be on tonight, but he had to drop out at the last second. So Joe, thank God, was able to drop whatever he was doing and watch the movie and be on tonight. So I also really appreciate your help tonight, Joe.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you. It's always fun. Like, I'm glad I was able to do this. But yeah, what it amounts to though is like I couldn't spend a lot of time with the film. It was just like one and done. So it's very much more like I basically have the polar opposite experience of Zach, because Zach has seen this film many times. You're in between him, seen it a few times.
Many times.
Many times?
Many meaning 2.5.
Okay, you've seen it 2.5 times. Matt, how many times have you seen it?
1.63.
Okay, so I'm at the other end of the spectrum. I've seen it once.
Okay.
Right, sure.
So, and once today. So I haven't even really like kind of been able to digest it. If that makes sense.
I was just busting your onions. You're welcome to say whatever you want. And
hey man,
I don't know how official. I don't know how official any of these judgments are. Anyway, by the way, I haven't even looked this stuff up.
They don't even get posted.
Okay, so Joe, can you tell the people a little bit about what? By the way, the new Minders record is great. I just heard the first few songs. I'm going to pick it up on vinyl. Can you tell people the name of that and stuff and where they can get it?
Sure. So the Minders is a band that's been around for a long time but hasn't put out a record in a long time, and I'm playing with them. They haven't put out a record in 10 years. They've got a new record called Into the River. It's available on vinyl through Space Cassette. You can check out some clips on, I think we're on Spotify and Google Play and Apple Music, and we got a little bit of NPR play. Yeah, and it's, an orchestral in places, rock in places, and we're actually, if any of your listeners are in the Portland area, we're doing a record release show with the -5, who's also doing a record release, at Secret Society on October 7th. I believe that's a Friday, so that should be a fun show. But yeah, please, stream the record, check it out. Buy it on vinyl. We have vinyl. There's, download codes and all of that if you get vinyl. Space Cassette. Check it out. Sample it. See if you like it. People seem to be enjoying it. We're pretty proud of it.
Yeah, I was really impressed with it. I heard 2 songs on Spotify and was like, oh, I'm just going to pick this up.
Sweet. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. And Zach, do you have anything you can plug? What are you working on nowadays besides teaching?
Well, I'm actually I'm the managing editor for the Journal of Popular Culture, which is an academic journal that MSU publishes about popular culture. It's like it's the official journal for the Popular Culture Association, the academic group. So I've been diligently working at that. And then a lot of my comic stuff has just kind of been put on the back burner while I work on research and get ready to publish papers and that sort of thing, which are all in sort of various stages of development. But just this month, Ben Teed and Will Pfeiffer and I got together and we're doing a new comics podcast because I've been out of regular, like, consistent podcasting for a minute. So we're getting back together to do that. So I have someone to vent to at least once a month about comic stuff, and that should be launching at the end of September here. So it'll be a monthly show.
Cool. And can you remind me the name of that? I saw you mention that on Facebook, but I forgot the name.
Of course. Yeah, I didn't even say it. What an idiot. Pictures Within Pictures. So we're setting up the website stuff now, and it'll be on Libsyn by the end of the month. So.
And that's you and Ben Teed?
Yep, and Will Pfeiffer.
Is he the Ad House guy?
No, Will.
What does he do?
No, you're thinking of Chris Pitzer.
Oh, that's.
How do you spell Pfeiffer?
Pfeifer.
Oh, okay.
So Will wrote. Will's been around in and out of writing comics for a long time. He wrote Aquaman for a long time. He had a really long run on Catwoman.
Okay, I know.
And he did a Vertigo series called Finals with Jill Thompson and a number of other indie comic series. But most of his writing, in fact, I'm confident almost all of his writings happened at DC. Swamp Thing, Demon, Teen Titans, Catwoman, Aquaman.
Okay, yeah. I knew his name from writing, but I could not remember what he worked on. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, awesome. Well, it sounds like you're busy, and I look forward to checking that out when it launches.
Yep.
Zach, can I borrow, if I can find a place for it? I feel like, because you said, what was it? Oh, well, I'm an idiot. It's like, that would be a good title for something. I feel like.
Well, I'm an
idiot. Like, that's, I started my own podcast. I'm pretty sure that's what I would. Well, I'm an idiot.
All right.
I say that so often.
Google it.
I say that so often that it's lost all meaning to me. So it's nice to hear that it has a meaning for other people.
Right.
Well, I think it speaks to me.
As I do.
Yeah, I think it just speaks to me for the same reason because it's like, it's like a mantra.
All right, you guys. It was a blast relaunching the show with both of you, and I totally appreciate your time. And thank you, Zach, so much for being here and introducing Robo Vampire into my film lexicon.
Oh, no. Thanks again for having me, you guys. This is fantastic.
Great. Okay, so for That's Cool, That's Trash, I'm Matt Howell.
I'm Joe Kincher.
I'm Zack Kruse.
Yeah, and you folks out there, stay trashy. That's cool. That's trash.
That's trash.
It's garbage, folks.
Oh, Ray!
It's a great view. You should bathe more often.
Bastard! Don't you have any manners? Just go away.